I'd like to call this meeting of the Prescott Police Services Board to order. We've had a chance to look at the agenda. Could I have an approval for the agenda? Moved by Brett Todd, seconded by Michael Ostrander. It's recommended that the agenda for the Police Services Board meeting of Thursday, February 25th, 2021 be accepted as presented and is passed. Are there any declarations of interest in any of the items? No. There are no presentations or delegations. We had a chance to look over the minutes of the meeting. Any errors, omissions, questions?
No, none.
No, then it's recommended that the Police Services Board minutes dated January 21, 2021 be accepted as presented. Could I have a mover, please? Michael, seconded by Brett.
Are the minutes in our package? I didn't see them.
Hold on, let me look at my other computer here. No, you're right. It is, by the looks of it, just the police services report. And
We can do them at the next meeting. It's not a big deal. I just wanted to.
The agenda was attached here. I have it here.
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
yes,
Sorry, we missed them. If you'd like, we can remove that motion and we can attach them to the next meeting if you'd like, so everyone
Okay.
has time to review them.
please.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Okay, anything under communications and petitions, action items? I guess they'd be in the minutes too. No, hold on. I guess we'll have to put that in the next one too.
Through you, Mr. Chair, there were no action its this week.
Okay. Same with information? Yeah.
Also,
okay.
yeah, no information was received.
All righty. Let's move right on to the police services report.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I assume you've all had a chance to review the report, so I'm just going to run through the violent crimes here. So being that it's the first month of the year, there's not going to be a whole lot of changes year to date, but you can see overall in the month of January, we did have 1 sexual assault and 2 assaults. And we had 4 other crimes against persons, and those be like threatening type of occurrences, criminal harassment. So overall, there's no change in our percentages there. For property crimes, if we look at January in 2021, we had 2 break and enters, which I'm happy to report have also been solved. We had 2 theft overs, 5 theft unders, 2 frauds reported, and 3 mischiefs. So overall, those numbers reported were a change in 27.3% over last year. So a bit of an increase, but nothing to be too concerned about at this stage. And our drug crimes, we had 1 drug trafficking charge that was laid. So those are the bulk of the charges for the drug crimes. And if you look on the next page on our clearance rates for January 2021, our violent crime rate is 57%. Our property crimes is 28.6%, and our drug crimes at 100%. And again, this is a very fluid number. It changes, can change. It's very dynamic in nature, so those numbers can change. But those are the numbers presented for January 2021. Are there any questions on those 2 pages?
No.
Okay. So I'm not going to run through the calls for service billing summary. There's just a lot of numbers there, unless there are questions about it. I'll just draw to your attention on page 8 of 10 on the calls for service billing summary report. This is just simply a comparison from 2020 to 2021. And if you look at the total number of hours, weighted year-to-date weighted hours, they're just pretty much on par to what was there last year, with a number of 641.8 versus 631. So very, very similar to what we were experiencing last year in January. And then on the last, sorry, not the last page. Page 9, the next page, we did have one public complaint that was reported to us, a conduct complaint. I'm confident that it's going to be resolved in the next little while. Nothing to be concerned about there. Our intelligence-led policing crime abatement strategy, we have 5 offenders in the program, and we had 4 checks that were performed throughout the month. And our total hours for our patrol hours, we had 202 in the month of January, and we had 2 foot patrol hours. We had a number of targeted releases during the month, and the community services officer provided some media releases about shoplifting, an arrest that was made with multiple charges on the same male who stole some items from the same store. And as I said, we had 2 break-in enters that were reported, and they resulted in charges and a clearance in each of those cases. Safeguard Ontario was offered to both of them, but they were declined. One was a residential and one was a commercial building. And I just wanted to make note that you probably have seen an increase in our social media platform with regards to our tweets and information we've been sharing. We have a new officer, Dave Holmes. He couldn't be here this morning, but he'll be here at the next meeting. And he's been doing a wonderful job for us. He's our newest community mobilization officer and community service officer. So he's very heavily engaged in the community, getting out there, doing some tweets about some areas of concern that we've had, and just bringing sort of heightened awareness to the public. So that's certainly been very positive for us, and we will continue to see that kind of a trend going forward. And if you just allow me to take a moment, I know JP wanted to just kind of quickly update you on some successes that we've had in the town of Prescott with regards to some traffic. So if you'll allow him to just have a moment to speak, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, great.
Good morning. We've reached out to our Highway Safety Division recently in light of the recent complaints brought forward by the PSBs in both Narcanville and Prescott. And as a result of those complaints, they've agreed to come here more regularly. So this month they only came one time, but moving forward, as of March, they're planning to come 2 days a month, and hopefully 3 times a month starting in April. So this is good news to us, because when these units comes in town, they do heavy enforcement on in regards to highway traffic offenses, and they make a really big impact in our community. So, you know, sometimes they may lay papers on people that don't always deserve it, but if we want to send a strong message to the community and be visible, having those units in town is highly beneficial to us. So these numbers, they just as of note, they came last week. That was actually, well, this week, they came on Monday this week, and they were in Prescott for 5 hours. 3 members came from the Long Sault Highway Safety Division. And as a result of their enforcement, they strictly focused on your community safety zones, which would be Edwards and King Street. So as a result, they've laid 11 speeding enforcement provincial offense notice. They've issued 2 extra highway traffic act offenses, not related to speeding, but other offenses. And then they've laid 2 Part 3 summons for operators that did not have any insurance on their vehicles. And on top of that, they've issued 5 e-warnings. So we have a new system now that we utilize. It captures the warnings and the tickets we're doing. So it's an electronic database. So every time an officer does a traffic stop, if they utilize that platform, whether they record a provincial offense notice or a warning, it's captured and it's part of the report that was shared with you. So it's still fairly new. It's in the works, and we're working with everybody to use it. But that's how it works. So when we do issue warning now, it's an electronic warning, and it shows in our database that these people have been stopped on any given date, and they've been given a warning for whatever offense they were stopped for. So if they reoffend, if they're stopped again down the road, we have that report now to go back to and say, well, you've been warned for this a few weeks ago or a month ago, so now you're going to get a ticket for it. So that's pretty much, doesn't seem like a whole lot, but this is just 5 hours of enforcement with 3 of their members. I know they're planning to come with, they have 2 platoons working normally, and they're planning to come with both platoons next time. So I think you'll see a behavior change when these folks are in town, that's for sure. Any questions on that?
Good to
Anyone
hear.
Perfect, thank you.
So-
JP,
Brett?
Yes.
last meeting, we had a conversation on photo radar. I just wondered if you had anything more that you'd sourced since then.
Yes, absolutely. So I've done some research, and what I've come up with, and it's in my plan, and we can talk about that later on if you want, once we're done with this agenda. But the photo radar has to be initiated by the municipality, and it's a program. It's on contract, and usually it's a minimum of 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. But you can have portables, radar cameras, or you can have permanent fixture devices, but you can also ask to run a pilot project for 3 to 6 months and see if there's even a need for that to be implemented in your community. So I have all the information to share with you after if you want. All it is, it's an email to send to Automated Speed Enforcement. It's based out of Toronto, and they have a program for each specific area, so they can help you. I have also looked into red light cameras for as another option with the counties. I know most of your roads are shared or are maintained by the county, and this is also another viable option that we should consider in specific areas. And the red light cameras are really affordable. I have a costing for that, and it's really affordable in my view. So I can also share that with you after if you want.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Anyone else?
Yes, Dan, if I could for a moment, just
Sure.
our roads actually aren't maintained by the county, JP, though we're a separated municipality, so there's a little difference there. But just wanted to thank you for this great this ops plan that was sent out, and especially the mapping of the traffic stops on page 6 of the report. I mean, I might as well discuss that ops plan now too, since we've gotten into it here, but I think it's just fantastic, and I just wanted to ask our clerk if we could make sure this report was included in the info pack for council on Monday night. So I know we've got a busy agenda. Otherwise, I'd say let's add this as a topic, but I'll refer to it under the info pack because I think people need to see. I mean, one of the complaints we have gotten in the past is that there isn't enforcement. Well, guess what, folks? There is enforcement, and we're doing the best we can to try to get people to slow down. And you obviously see in the map of the traffic stops where the real serious issues are. It's no surprise. We've all seen it, and we've also seen officers out enforcing the regulations and slowing people down the last a couple of months as well. So it's just great to see this. I think it's a good proactive plan, especially as we head into the summer and more people are going to be out in the streets and going in and out of the parks downtown. And it's always been the most worrisome part of, with me with this is the number of people that are crossing on King Street to get to the beach, to get to the parks. And obviously that's going to pick up in the summertime. We can't have people routinely doing double the speed limit down there. It's a tragedy waiting to happen. So it's just want to thank the staff sergeant and Inspector Graves. It's great that you've taken this on so seriously and really gone after this problem and brought that I guess it's the time team in from outside as well. And just trying to get the nomenclature right there. Just great stuff overall, and just please keep up the good work, and we'll bring this to council on Monday night for a quick discussion as well. And I'm sure the rest of council will be as happy as Councillor Ostrander and I on this enforcement. So thanks again for this great proactive plan, and for being out there and helping with what has been a significant issue in our community in the downtown, particularly in recent months.
Well, thanks for the feedback, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it. And I'm always willing to discuss this further with you at any given time and the board to really break it down in more specific areas so you guys can understand better where my head is at with this plan. But any questions in regards to this, please let me know.
Oh, and one other comment, just in relation to what Councillor Ostrander mentioned about the red light, the traffic speed cameras. We did bring that when we had our meeting with Augusta, Matthew and I. We did mention that to Mayor Malenka and then CAO Ray. Was it last month, Matt? We talked about that, and I don't know. We don't have anything formal from them yet, do we? In terms of, like, we were going to approach their PSB and the partnership on sharing costs in one of those units.
So I think they wanted to understand, as do we, the costs involved, and so and I think they're substantial, but certainly we'd like to review that.
Okay, we don't have anything formal back from the PSB yet, though.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions regarding the operational plan? I know we were going to schedule to have this done under old business, but is there anything else for JP? No?
All right, thank you.
Okay. Inspector Graves, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's pretty much a wrap up for JP's plan. I thought he did an excellent job, and we certainly look forward to continuing the good relationship that we have with you. So.
Good. Okay, I have a motion. It's recommended that the police services report for January 2021 be accepted as presented. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Mike Ostrander, seconded by Brett Todd. Then it's recommended that the police services board report for January 2021 be accepted as presented. All those in favor is passed. Let's move on to the bylaw update from Sean.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Winter control parking so far, tickets and tows are much down compared to previous years. Part of that has to do with the fact that although the winter's been a little rough the last week or two, prior to that, it was a fairly mild winter. It also helps with the permitted parking that we allow now on municipal lots. We have anywhere between 8 and 12 cars on a regular basis taking advantage of that service. It's been a good year in that there's even been a couple nights we've gone out and there hasn't been any cars on the street, which is a good thing. That's what we're aiming for. Just to keep everyone advised, the updated animal control bylaw was passed by council. The rest of 2021 will be about education, with it coming into effect in January of next year. Cats will also be tagged or to get a license, the same as dogs. And we also established the rules for a dog park, although a dog park has not yet been established as confirmed, the exact location. The only other issues is neighbors continue to have their disputes. Some days it makes me appreciate good neighbors and my neighbors where I live, because it's amazing how it can cycle and ramp up. And we also had one hoarding issue earlier in January. The bylaw worked with the fire department, and the fire load that was in that location has been seriously declined. It's to the point that the fire department is satisfied with it. That's the exciting world of bylaw for the month of January.
Any questions? What has been the response to the cats on leashes?
Again, it certainly made it on social media a little bit, but I mean, this never was about someone walking their cat on a leash. It was about stating that you have an obligation as a pet owner how to control your animals and make sure they stay on your property, or that if they're not off your property, at least the neighbors have no problems with it being there. Like I said, I seen a little bit on social media, but none that actually came to the town. And for the most part, we've had some really good uptake already in people picking up their cat licenses this year so that they would have them in place for next year. So like I said, most people want to be 99% of the people in this community still want to be responsible pet owners, and they'd like to get their pets back if they ever, lost them. It was never about the money, and it was never about fines or anything like that. It was just about making sure that we had a set of rules that made sure everyone was a responsible pet owner.
Okay. Is there anything else? All right, anything under old business? Anything under new business? All right, that'll move us on to the what we like in the PSB public service announcement. Continuation of the speeding or anything new? Brett?
Announcement of some of the specifics in that operational plan, whatever the OPP are comfortable with putting out there, I would back that. I mean, that seems to be the big topic right now, and there's obviously a lot of enforcement going on.
Okay. Anything else?
Nathan has something, Stan.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nathan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, one of the things that did come up, and I believe our staff Cassie had reached out to Nancy, and it was at the school crosswalks where we have the crossing guards and having I think we had some feedback from one of the crossing guards indicating that people were either not stopping at times or being a little bit I guess aggressive with coming a bit too close to the actual crossing and the guards themselves. And so I think I'm not sure if Nancy had somebody go out and kind of check one of those spots, but that might be something just because the kids have been kind of to the schools and not at the schools. So it's a little more sporadic than it's been in most years. But maybe an update or I guess a reminder that these kids are going back and forth to schools.
If I can just touch on that topic. So I did have my CMO officer go out, did speak with the crossing guard and actually did take a picture, put it on Twitter with kind of a blurb to the media, to the public, just alerting them to the fact that just to make sure and slow down, you're in a school zone, just to bring awareness to that piece. So certainly that resulted in some good feedback, as well as we have been doing some patrols down in that area. So we will continue to focus in that area as well.
Great. Thank you for that.
Thanks for that social media push on everything, Nancy. That's really been good to see. It just gets the point out the presence is in the community. So thanks for sending those links to me lately too. Some good stuff there. That's excellent.
Yeah, and if you're okay, I'll just continue to forward those on to you in case you don't see them.
Okay. Absolutely, please do.
Okay.
Is there anything else? All right, then we're going to move to adjournment. We'll have to pick a date for March. How does the 25th sound? Does that give you enough time, Nancy?
Yep, that gives us plenty of time. Thank you.
Is everybody okay with that, 25th?
Sure.
Okay. Can I have somebody move the motion to adjourn? Mayor Todd, seconded by Mike Ostrander. It's recommended that this meeting adjourn to March 25th at 8:30 a.m. All those in favor? Passed, and it's 8:58. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, folks.